Majestic, Marie, and Laura. Got the wrestling world right here, no need to go far. All girls podcast, bringing vibes so grand. Talking power bombs and peaches, we've got the upper hand. With a smile, positivity, and tales of the ring. From Eddie Kingston's moves to each title swing, we're here to cheer, laugh, and maybe even cry. Join us on this ride, let's kiss that heel goodbye. Peaches and power bombs, let's start the show, where legends come to dance and superstars glow. Listeners, come closer, hear the stories flow. With Majestic, Marie, and Laura, watch your fandom grow. Every episode's a celebration, moments that we hold. No storyline too big, no champion too bold. For the love of the sport, for each crowd's thunder, wrestling's in our hearts, ever full of wonder. Every episode's a celebration, moments that we hold. No storyline too big, no champion too bold. For the love of the sport, for each crowd's thunder, wrestling's in our hearts, ever full of wonder. So raise your signs high as we speak the truth of epic rivalries and glory of youth. From Eddie's grit to the Diva's reign, in every bout there's joy amidst the pain. Oh, peaches and power bombs, let's start the show, where legends come to dance and superstars glow. Listeners, come closer, hear the stories flow. With Majestic, Marie, and Laura, watch your fandom grow. Watch your fandom grow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs. I am Majestic Marie, alongside my co-host, Miss Laura, and that's the first time she's heard our new song. So
that was so cute. That is so cute. I love it. Thank you.
No problem. And we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Stanley Karr from Wrestling with Heart. Thank you so much for joining us today. Uh-oh. Stanley, can you hear us? Okay, you're on. Yeah, we can't hear you. Uh-oh.
He was fine a minute ago. It
I
happened.
know, that's weird. Yeah, still can't hear you. Well, while Stanley's trying to get all of his stuff ready, I'm going to do a little bit of roll call. Hi, Christine. She's with us. And our good friend, Strav, who needs to come on the show at some point. Hey, Strav. And do all the things. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the YouTube and the Facebook channel. And also, we'll go ahead and get the Briscoe brothers ready as well.
Ain't no way, chick. Ain't ready. There ain't no way, man. Ain't ready. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready. You can say you're ready as many times as you want. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Y'all boys ain't ready. There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick? Hey. Somebody losing sleep.
They losing sleep, baby. Man, I've been getting the best sleep of my life.
I've been snoring, baby. I've been snoring.
Dreaming about.
Hello, Stanley. Can we hear you now? Nope, we still can't hear you. Maybe
He might
try
have to go off and
come back in. Okay.
Okay. Alma is we'll continue welcoming everybody. Alma's here. What's up, Majestic Marie and Laura? How are y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Resting up some, been very sick for 5 weeks with bronchitis and flu. Lord have mercy. Flu is horrible this year. I hope you do feel better soon. And definitely stay hydrated and get all the rest that you can.
Yes.
Excuse me. And how are we doing? Yeah, Marie, Marie has been out and done last week as well. So how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thankfully, it was not the flu or COVID. It was just a bad cold. So, yeah, we still can't hear you. You might have to get out and come back in.
Might have to restart your phone.
Yeah. I don't know how to. I'm gonna text him really quick. So.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want him to think that we.
Yeah, we were talking, and then the thing started, and all of a sudden, it happens. It really does. It's technology for you. We can't live with it. We can't live without it. So, Marie was out last week. And then I had some other stuff going on, so we just took the week off, and
Okay, he did it.
We got the twofer for y'all today. So we're hanging out with Stanley for a little while this afternoon, and then tonight at 8:00 we will have Wade Needham from Ring Scoops joining us. So you're gonna get a whole lot of us tonight. We're pulling double duty. So
yep. I hope you like our cute little faces.
Of course. And Mina's gonna be doing overtime too, whenever she feels like it. And I totally didn't mean to have my laundry in the background. It's just the sun is like going in here, so I had to turn around so y'all could see me.
Hi, Stanley. Can you hear us?
Hello, yes.
There we
Sorry
go.
about that.
Yay!
That's so weird how that happened. I don't know what happened there. That's never
Technology.
Can't live with it. Can't live without it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Sure. So we got a few sweet peaches in here in the orchard. So we will let you have the floor and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the host of the podcast Wrestling with Heart with Stanley Karr. It's a podcast about professional wrestlers, features professional wrestlers who give back to their community with things like charity work and volunteering, community service work. I've been doing it now for about a little over 2 years. I've also got it on radio syndication as well. It's a goal of mine. I've got it on 2 stations currently, one in the metro Atlanta area, WDJY 99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia. Also in Denver, Colorado, as far as part of Denver Open Media, that's 92.9 FM over there. So I'm looking at growing it and in the process of, getting sponsors and trying to develop a following. And I've got some interesting and exciting things in the works.
That's amazing. Dallas, Georgia is like a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. So
nice.
Right down the road. So That's pretty cool. So tell us a little bit more about how did you become a wrestling fan? Have you watched it your entire life, or?
Yeah, I have been a fan pretty much my entire life, on and off for about 25 years now. So I had discovered wrestling at the age of 5. Maybe 4.5 years old. My dad one night was watching Monday Night Raw, and I just because I enjoyed bonding with my father at that age, especially, I just asked him, "Hey, what are you watching, Dad?" And I just said, "I'm watching wrestling. I see this big jacked up dude with sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt, laid back, cool guy, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, The Rock, just standing on the stage, the Titantron area, just cutting this intense promo, and the rest is history. I mean, this was the heart of the Attitude Era. and just loved it ever since.
Yeah, The Rock can do that. My dad was a WCW guy when I was growing up, so I grew up on that. But then when, going to school and everything, everybody's like, you need to watch The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually brought in WWF to our house through school. So I was like, hey Dad, let's watch this too. So that I totally relate with you on that, because that's what my dad and I bond over as well. And I know Alora, bonded with her dad as well over wrestling. There's something about wrestling and dads that just go together.
It really does.
Hello? Uh-oh.
Oh, you switched screens on me. You switched screens. Okay.
That was weird.
Yeah, that's never happened before.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I've been lucky enough now to have attended 2 WrestleManias and a SummerSlam. And I actually saw The Rock live last year in Philadelphia at WrestleMania when he teamed up with Roman Reigns to take on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Probably one of my favorite events I've ever been to, as well as when I went to Mania in Dallas the year Stone Cold returned to compete against Kevin Owens. So
Cool.
I've had the fortune of going to a lot of shows and now announcing shows, and I'm very happy to get into the wrestling business now. So this is wonderful.
So how did you get in? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just wanting to touch on the conversation before the magic spell happened with the screens. My dad, he was like not really a huge wrestling fan, but he really liked the Road Warriors back in the day. Road Warriors, Buzz Sawyer. They would come through Albany a lot down here in South Georgia, and he hated Ric Flair with a passion. And I remember the story I'll share with y'all is, I guess he won. I don't think he won a world title, but he won the match or whatever. And he got so mad, he threw his cup of beer and it hit a security guard.
Oh, no.
He said he had to run so fast and hide. But he said, he always enjoyed going there, watching the Road Warriors like destroy everybody. And then he said they went to the convenience store after the show and got gas, and he said he saw a whole bunch of them pull up in a van, and that's when he found out that wrestling wasn't real, and it broke his heart.
Too bad he didn't have that realization before he threw the beer, right?
Right. But yeah, he knew of it. He passed away 4 years ago, but he knew of it. He would ask us about it ever so often, and of course, with the divas and everything, he was a big fan of Stacy Keibler, and we used to tease him all the time because he's from Cleveland, and the Miz is from Cleveland too, so we always picked on him about that. Hey, ain't that your favorite wrestler? And he'd be like, no, I don't like that dweeb. So I just wanted to bring that up right quick, and yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We're just here having a conversation and having a good old time. So Stanley, I was wondering, how did you get into broadcasting, and why did you decide to marry your 2 things that you love, broadcasting and wrestling?
So I think I always knew at a young age I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I just didn't know at what facet and what platform I wanted to do it in. I think radio and television was the market I kind of wanted to break into, and so I dabbled in a little bit of film as well. But I think once I started going to school, and I noticed that my school had a radio station, I wanted to get involved and get active as much as possible. So I started doing shifts, and I started helping around, and I started doing community radio as well for another station. And over time, I just developed, skills to where I could start, carving out my own brand. And eventually I was taking this podcasting class at the college, same college where I'm now working at. And this was the same year I had mentioned I went to WrestleMania to see Austin return. So I decided I think this would be a good time because I've been already doing music stuff. I have a show called The Piano Men as well, which I've done for almost 10 years on a low power FM station. So I've been very involved in the music world. And I said, I'd love to do a wrestling podcast, but if I'm going to do a wrestling podcast, I'd like to do something that really hasn't been touched on before. And, as there's like tons and tons of wrestling podcasts.
Right.
How do I make mine original? How do I make mine stand out? Well, I noticed there's really not one that is devoted to giving back to your community or charity work or volunteering anywhere. And I think it's nice to do something that profiles and gives a platform to people that actually, make a difference, not just, be a positive influence in the ring, but outside as well. So I came up with Wrestling with Heart, and been at it now 2.5 years and trying to grow it and see it bloom, see it blossom.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to say that I commend that a whole lot, because I know there's tons and tons of podcasts out there that just want to just bring stuff down. Like they get their numbers in by negativity, and you're trying to spin that around and do the exact opposite and bring actual goodness, speak goodness into the world instead of negativity. And I commend you for doing that. That's really great.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I thank you again you were a guest on my show as well a while back. So
please do not go and watch that episode, everybody. Go see every other episode but that one, because it was horrible. And I am so sorry.
You were great. You were fine.
It was awful. I was so nervous. And when I'm nervous, I talk a whole lot. And when I talk a whole lot, I say things that I normally would not say.
You were great. You were great. You were awesome.
If you need any more indication, just ask her about Cody Rhodes and grilled cheese.
Oh gosh.
But I was gonna echo what Marie said. I think it's good to seek those kind of things, because it's like you said, there's so many people that just do it, and then all they do is complain. I think we complain a little bit, but it isn't as bad. We try to spin it with some positivity or maybe what we think should happen. But I think a lot of us do that too. But at the same time, we try to focus more on positivity than anything. And we just overall like to create a vibe, to have a good time, just like we're talking like we did back in the day before social media was around with your friends. We used to have Monday Night Raw parties. I mean, every week, and had the pizza and chips and all the good stuff. And
yeah, I mean, so it's a family and friendly function. I mean, it's a happening. It's a social outing, and that's important. Coming together, bringing people together, and that's what I aim to do with Wrestling with Heart is to unite people, unite humanity.
Mm-hmm. Right, because there's so much negativity with wrestling. Whether it's people's perception of it, it's just a bunch of dudes in their underwear, or of the sort. But there's a beautiful side to it as well, and that's what we tried to do. And I think that's what a lot of us try to do. And we too have a great podcast community that everybody wants to see each other succeed, and I think that's very good too. Especially, I used to say when I was younger, if you want drama, pro wrestling's for you. And with my podcasting / blogging venture that I've done, I'm starting to see a really beautiful side to it, because I've seen the ugliness. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen betrayal. I've seen lies and just drama, unnecessary drama, and and so that's why I enjoy podcasting so much. I didn't mean to go on and on and on, but
well, and And, you know, a lot of people, when they hear pro wrestling, they might think the bad stuff at first, you know, stuff like with Crispin Law, or, you know, all of
Yeah.
the drug use and things like that. And, you know, the Vince McMahon scandals and all of that noise, that's the forefront of people's minds when they, some when they hear about wrestling. But, you know, Stanley's doing such a great job, and I believe we are too, here on Peaches and Power Bombs, is trying to change the narrative a little bit on that and being like, you know what? No, there's good people in wrestling too.
Yeah, I love what you're doing, and I think that you provide your audience with top-notch content, and I'm thankful to be a part of this today.
Yeah, we're so happy that you got to come.
Yes.
So you've had a lot of interesting guests on your show, some names that, you know, a lot of people actually know. I think I read that you're about to have Rob Van Dam on your show.
Oh,
Yeah, I interviewed him last week, 2 weeks ago. It was a really good interview. I enjoy talking to him. Seems very chill, laid back. Provided me with some good stories, and I think the your audience will definitely enjoy what RVD has to say.
Absolutely. Is there anybody else that any of your guests that have stuck out in your mind as interesting? Any cool stories that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, since I've started the podcast, I've had people like Stevie Ray, Al Snow, Devon Dudley, Ahmed Johnson, Mark Merrow, Jake the Snake Roberts.
I bet Jake the Snake was real interesting.
He was very interesting, very, very good talk, very motivational and inspiring.
He's a very kind person too.
Definitely, he is, and you can tell when he was talking with me about speaking to young people about overcoming alcohol addictions.
Yeah,
Just something that I feel like we could all take away from it. That it really does hurt you. It kills you. And you can turn that around. You have the power to do so. And so he was very, he was a good one. He was a good guest. I enjoyed talking to him a lot.
yeah. This was popping up in my head. DDP would be. We've been trying to get him on too, but
yeah,
he's hard to pin down.
But there's a video that's been surfacing recently. He's been working on helping Lex Luger get feeling back in his legs, and but you know, I just wanted to say that he's been a very big part of recovery in a lot of wrestlers, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that at all. And I just wanted to point that out because I think that's another part of wrestling that nobody really sees is.
No.
You got people like DDP out there that is transforming so many lives, whether it's a wrestler or Marie or another person that, you know, just somebody, your average Joe, so to speak. And
yeah.
And so, but yeah, I just, while you were talking about that message of alcoholism and stuff like that, I just wanted to bring that up. And you know, that's something else that's not talked about normally. And you love to see it pretty much just going on from the beautiful parts of wrestling that nobody sees.
Yeah, he definitely has helped out so many people. Jake the Snake and Scott Hall's another one that he was able to help transform his life. Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
Another one. I think that he's definitely somebody that I feel like years from now, I feel like will be a true hero in not only just wrestling but humanity for everything that he has done and has tried to do. So yeah, I DDP is amazing.
Yeah, hold on just a second. I need to bump somebody off.
Yeah. Yeah. While you do that, we'll go ahead and read some comments right quick if you don't mind, Stanley.
No, not at all.
Okay. Christine is excited about double show tonight. Well, it wasn't on the bingo card, but hey, we'll do it. Showtime. Jeffrey, welcome to the show. going back to how we got started in wrestling, Jeffrey said, I am the only one in my house that watched wrestling. My mom and dad both hated that I watched wrestling. Scott talking about the idea for your podcast, Stanley. He loves this from one wrestling podcaster to another. Love what you're doing, Mr. Karr.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Scott.
You can check him out on the hashtag truth. Good friend of ours, Christine. Some of those guys look pretty darn good in their underwear when I was mentioning, oh, they just wrestle in their underwear. You just watch for the hot guys, do you? And Jeffrey also says he used to go to the bar and shoot pool and watch WCW Nitro and recorded Raw and watch that when he got home. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We used to flip back and forth all the time between Nitro and Raw sometimes. Let's see. And Jeffrey says he does love RVD. Yeah, I used to I saw the Royal Rumble 1995. My dad worked with somebody that was a huge wrestling fan, and he recorded the Rumble off a pay-per-view before they got smart and tried to ban that on the VCR. Anyway, it shows my age. But anyways, Dad brought it home, and I kind of saw it on and off, really didn't pick up on it. But when Shawn Michaels came out, I'm like, my little 11-year-old self, who is that? Mm-hmm. and it's been with me 30 years going. So
yeah. You were talking about Jake the Snake a while ago, and I have a connection to Dallas, and I used to train at his gym. I was going to be one of his yoga instructors, and Jake came in one time for something, and we were talking, and I was telling him about this group of kids that I had went to a high school and got to teach, DDP yoga to and stuff. And we were in contact with each other, Jake and I, and we were going to try to set up for him to come and talk to these kids that I had previously taught yoga to. And then the pandemic happened, and it ruined everything. But he's so wonderful, and he wants to help as many kids and people as he can, telling his story and just being positive. Yeah. I love Jake to death.
Yes. Living testimonies are the best, I'm telling you.
So is there anything else about Wrestling with Heart that you would like to tell our audience about?
Yeah, you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Wrestling with Heart with Stanley Karr. You can find us there by punching that in. You can find us on Instagram at the handle at Wrestling with Heart. We're on Threads also at Wrestling with Heart. We just launched a Blue Sky page recently. wrestlingwithheart.bsky.social and YouTube. Punch in Wrestling with Heart with Stanley Karr. Subscribe. We're trying to get our subscribers up, so it means a lot if you could subscribe, spread the word. And we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on everywhere you get your podcasts.
Yeah, you're everywhere. Wherever you can find your podcasts and stuff. Well, Stanley, one of the things that I was thinking of as you were talking was I was going to get your opinion on the current state of wrestling. What's your favorite thing right now? What's something you're into? Whichever promotion you're keeping an eye on. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I definitely like the women's wrestling scene right now. I think it's kicked up a notch. Specifically WWE. I like what they're doing with Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. I think those two, their characters are really, really good. I love their character work. It's good to see Charlotte back. AEW, I mean, you got Mercedes killing it still. I don't know the latest on Britt Baker's situation, but I hope she comes back at some point. Tony Storm, my gosh.
My goodness.
What more can I
love her.
say? She's amazing. So I like what they're doing with her and Mariah May. That feud's been really incredible. There's a lot of good talent out there now, and then for the men, I mean, I think the star power has really kicked up a notch in WWE, especially. So I think Tiffany and Charlotte should be a good match, and Jay and Gunther looks to be pretty good. I guess I don't know who's going to win the chamber match on Saturday. I kind of want them to do Cody. I kind of want to see a triple threat match of some kind with him, Cena, and Punk, just because I feel like that would be kind of cool. It just gives Punk his WrestleMania main event. Kind of curious what's going on with Cody and The Rock right now.
I was going to ask you about that since you said that The Rock was your favorite.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to lead to a match. I don't know if this is going to lead to a long-term storyline. I kind of don't want Cody to turn heel right now just because I feel like it's too early. And fans really do like him a lot. So I don't know. It just feels like, in the weeks to come, things might make more sense. But I don't know. I just think, as we get closer to Mania, it'll be kind of interesting to see where things go.
I think it brings an element of interest to Cody's character. You see people online, they talk about, oh, this person's gonna steal. I think it just kind of keeps us guessing because since Triple H has taken over, I've mentioned this a while back, it's kind of like we've kind of had to retrain our brains to, not, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. They're really keeping us on our toes, especially women's division, like you said. I did check out the highlights of the women's tag match last night. They're putting more of a focus on it.
That was a great match too. Great match.
From what I saw, the highlights, it looked good. Just keeping, we really honestly don't know what's going to happen. We were surprised at the Rumble because I 100% thought John Cena was going to win it, and they shocked me. And that's very hard to do when you've been watching it for 30 years. So
yeah. I do like the unpredictability and like the anything can happen feel. I think that's important.
So how did you feel about Jey Uso winning the Rumble? I know there was some positive and negative reactions to it.
So I don't have a problem with Jey winning so much. I think to me, what I would have liked was because again, you have a Rumble match with all the star power like John Cena and Roman and Drew and Punk and Seth and all these guys. I think it would have been, to me, I would not have had Jey win or Jey wrestle for the world title the week before and have him lose the week before if they were going to have Jey win. But that's just my opinion, Yeah,
that was kind of questionable. I agree with that.
But I like Jey. I think that fans love him. He seems like a positive dude. Mm-hmm. I just hope, he wins the belt. I hope he wins the title at Mania.
I didn't have a problem with it mainly because of what they're trying to do. They're trying to tell this story that Gunther has always been the thorn in Jey Uso's side because he's lost to him 2 or 3 times now. And so Gunther is the impossible hurdle that Jey Uso has not yet been able to jump over or, clear. And so I think it's really intriguing the way that they did it because with him losing the week before, him winning was a total surprise. And, anybody, in the context of a storyline, just because you lost last week doesn't mean that you can't win this week. So he overcame the odds. And now he's getting to face Gunther again, and this is a big mountain for him. He hasn't been able to get over this mountain, so this is his story to get over his mountain, which is Gunther, and to have that big giant WrestleMania moment. So
I'd like to add to that, we've seen Jay overcome so much within the last 5 years. And, he had to overcome Roman there for a while, being his right-hand man. Uh-oh. Marie got cut off there for a second. But, Roman was his right-hand, or Jay was Roman's right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Jay was Roman's right-hand man, and, Roman was really tugging on his heartstrings, messing with him emotionally, and, just had this hold on him for so long. And then Jay was the first one to pin Roman over 2 years, and, he eventually was able to conquer that mountain, so to speak, and basically had that step up. So, Jay's had his battles, and it's like Marie said, this is just another battle for him, and hopefully, I know that's going to be a wonderful story told in the ring en route to Jay winning that championship, especially with Gunther at the helm, because Gunther's just fantastic as is.
He's definitely one of the best wrestlers today, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay's amazing in his own right. And I love the story of, he's achieving other goals despite always being a tag team wrestler. It's always good to see that type of thing too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the modern day Jeff Hardy, because you remember how Jeff was wildly popular in the late 2000s, like 2008, 2009. He got over as a singles competitor, winning the IC title, and I think a lot of people really wanted to see him capture the world title, and he did. And I think it's just the same thing, he was a fan favorite. In fact, I think a lot of people, kind of thought he was going to overtake John Cena for a while in merch sales, and in popularity wise. I think he was selling a lot of shirts back in the day, rivaling John Cena. So,
okay, I'm gonna go through the comments right quick. Jeffrey says WWE already made a shirt for Trish and Tiffany for their tag match on Saturday. Yeah, I love this idea for continue on with secondary storylines, so to speak, because you still got Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae to worry about. So they're still finding ways to incorporate that storyline, because Tiffany did take the title from Nia Jax, and they're in Toronto. So yeah, I shouldn't have been surprised Trish was in the mix, but
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes,
it'll be
that
good.
was my point. It was going to be fun.
It'll be good.
Okay, Jeffrey also says that he thinks it's going to be Punk, Roman, and Seth at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, that's my guess too.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
That could be possible, yeah.
All right. He also says they are leading towards a match between Cody and The Rock at WrestleMania 42. We have yet to see that. Christine wants to know, Stanley, what do you think of Raw on Netflix?
It's all right. I mean, I like the camera angles; they're unique, and I think the runtime is fine how it is. I don't see much of a difference. It's Raw, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll keep going. We have plenty of comments. Jeffrey says he didn't think Cena was going to win the Rumble because they announced Cena's last appearance at the Elimination Chamber. Straight up wrestling show. Give them guys a good listen. Follow. He says, "What's up?"
Yep.
Jeff Hardy's title run was really short.
Yeah, it was.
But that was so special though when he won it. I mean, it wasn't at a major pay-per-view, but that's okay because it's all in the moment. That's what made it special.
Mm-hmm. And fans still remember it too.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. mission accomplished. He said Jeffrey also says the match between Gunther and Jay at Saturday's main event seemed like a filler match because you knew who was going to win because Jay had already been put into a Rumble match.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about the whole deal. But again, I mean,
they do that all the time though, because back in 2020 they put Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble and he was the WWE champion.
Yeah,
and you're like, what is he going to do if he wins? Fight himself? I mean,
look, my personal, again, this is just my opinion. If this is the guy who you want to go with to win the match, I would not have had him compete for the world title the week before because it just ruins the whole meaning of the Royal Rumble. That's just me. I like Jay. I think he's a great talent. I'm looking forward to hopefully see him win the belt, and hope he has a good run.
Yeah, or if anything, just didn't announce that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble either.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I just chop it up to WWE doing WWE things. They're not, they're not perfect.
Nobody is, and no wrestling promotion is.
No, and we haven't really talked about AEW too much, and I figured we could focus on that for a moment if you wanted to. I know we talked about Tony Storm. Anybody else that you're particularly looking forward to seeing, or
Mariah May, she's doing great work. Julia Hart,
oh yeah, she's amazing. I love her.
Another one. I don't know what Soraya's doing now. I know she's taking some time off, but I know she's over there. I'm curious to see where some of the people that have gotten released are going to go, because you had like a lot of talent just get fired recently.
I think showed up on NXT last week, and he's Ricky Saints now on NXT.
Yeah. You got Ricky Starks now making the jump over to WWE. You got a few other people I'm sure that are going to go there too. Miro, I know, got released recently.
AEW gonna go. AEW doesn't have that 90-day no compete clause, so like the surprises with Ricky Saints, that fans are going to be chomping at the bit for that, because that's what the WWE wrestlers did back in the day. They would get fired on Monday, and on Wednesday they were on Impact or TNA.
Yeah.
That's why the 90-day no compete clause was put into place, because they're airing out the dirty laundry, and they were like, we can't have that. So
you had 10 or so people get released from WWE recently. You had Sonya Deville, her contract wasn't renewed. You had
that was surprising to me.
I just was watching her video she put out about her release. It's unfortunate, that women's roster right now is stacked. Stacked. And you have new championships, the women's U.S. title and the women's IC title.
Yeah.
Some of those women could have been great contenders for it. I think, I guess from what I just given what I saw in the video, I'm guessing Sonya's not going to wrestle anymore. She's looking at going to Hollywood.
I don't know. I haven't seen too much of that. I did want to point out though, Isla Dawn did a great vignette on her social media.
Yeah.
So whether she goes to Stardom, AEW, New Japan, more or less she did an amazing vignette talking about what she's kind of subtly talking about the release and what she's going to do next.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think she'd be a great fit for TNA.
That too.
Trying to think who else got cut recently.
The Legado del Fantasma girl, but I can't remember her name.
Elektra Lopez.
Yeah. She got released. Blair Davenport. That's another one that got fired.
Yeah. She's great.
She was.
The Good Brothers too.
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
Anderson.
Luke Gallows is about to open up a chiropractor thing with his wife. I saw that yesterday.
And then also, Giovanni Vinci got released too. Who else got released? Off the tip of my tongue, off the top of my head. I think those are like the main ones.
Yeah.
Those are the main ones. There might have been others. Cedric Alexander. That was the other one. I could see him in AEW.
He's going to the Hurtson to get.
Joining with Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin.
They're doing good over there too, by the way.
What?
Yes.
I said they're doing good over there. The Hurt Syndicate.
I think they're the best part of AEW right now. I like what they're doing. I was a fan of theirs in WWE, so I think they're doing great things over there in AEW. It's just a good time to be a fan, period, of wrestling. I just think that there's a lot of good stuff out there that people are watching, and so I'm just happy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about before we hang it up? Because we got another show later on. So,
I was going to say, I was going to ask Stanley, is there anybody in particular you're looking to interview and haven't got there yet?
Oh man, there's a laundry list of people who I'd love to have on. I mean, I don't know. You know, the thing is I know there's you guys are looking at getting people too. So I mean, Mick Foley. He's definitely someone who I'd love to have on. Kurt Angle, Trish would be a good one. Tori Wilson would be a good one. You brought up Stacy Keibler earlier. All the divas of the past eras would be great. People in the 90s and 80s, just so many people I'd love to talk with. So it's just a matter of if and when,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go through one last round of comments and then we'll head out. HBT from Straight Up Wrestling. Raw's gotten better the last 2 weeks. The weeks prior wasn't good, but it looks like they have a different focus since Road Dogg joined the writing team. Oh, that's somebody that's so underrated. Oh, I love him.
Road Dogg's on the SmackDown writing team, but that's okay.
Yeah, Malachi / Alistair Black's about to be on WWE.
He was the other one that got released from AEW. So yeah, I could see him go there.
Well, and they've already hinted at it, I think, because I think Chad Gable is going to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre.
Yeah. Isla Dawn's very good. I don't know why they released her. And yes, Blair Davenport is great too. I'm surprised they haven't released Alba Fire.
They did release Alba Fire, I thought.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Giovanni Vinci shouldn't have been fired. He and Kaiser was great together. It was evident that they were doing a singles run with Ludwig Kaiser, which I love his character, and
he's great.
And Ludwig Kaiser just won his match
Carmella
last night, so they've got big plans for him.
Yeah, I think her contract expired recently, so
yeah.
I don't know. I think that I know from what I read, I think she had hurt her foot or something like that. Like
it was an injury. It was a birth injury, so that's one of the reasons why she hadn't come back. And she probably when I saw that she let her contract expire, that kind of told me she's probably retiring.
Man, she would be a great manager. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't have enough managers these days. I think that you don't have to just be a wrestler. You could be a manager to add to the presentation of characters, especially when you have people that need some more work on the mic. You give them a mouthpiece. I think Carmella would have made an excellent.
Oh yeah, listen, I wanted to be a manager growing up. When I first started watching, I was like, yeah, I want to be a manager. I want to be a valet ringside, and it kind of died over the years, and that's so sad because we had some amazing wrestling managers back in the day. You see it very little. Like MVP would be a good example.
Paul Heyman, of course.
Oh, yeah. You don't see a whole lot of them, but, just, I wish they would have more of a focus on them again.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. I think that we've come so far in progression with so many great things, but I don't think we need to let necessarily all of the old things die out. I think it's
Yeah.
good to have some of those still around. I mean, I had Terry Runnels on my show a while back, and we were talking about managers and the need of managers in today, you know, because I think that it's a lost art to have valets and to have managers and people to talk for people that, you know, are just coming up. So,
yeah, you can't forget Vicky Guerrero as well. She was amazing.
Oh, man. Absolutely.
Jeffrey says Don Callis as much as I hate him. Me too, Jeffrey. Me too. I can't stand him.
I thought about being a manager, you know, being like a Southern Belle and hitting people with a parasol behind the referee's back or something. But then I learned managers have to take bumps too. And I was like, no thanks.
Just put your mind to anything. If you want to do something, go for it, you know?
I think we see it more in independent promotions versus the big time promotions, which is fine. Yeah, I'm like Marie. I kind of want to do it too, but I don't know if I could take a bump now.
I'm too close to 40 for that.
I'm over 40. There's that. So,
well, anyway.
Right. Yeah, is there anything else before we head out?
I think we've covered all the bases. I mean, check out Wrestling with Heart. We're on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Wrestling with Heart with Stanley Karr on Facebook, at Wrestling with Heart on Instagram and Threads, Blue Sky, wrestlingwithheart.bsky.social. We're on YouTube at Wrestling with Heart with Stanley Karr. Punch in Wrestling with Heart with Stanley Karr. We're on there, and we're on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. We're on there, and we're looking to grow and continue to build our following.
All right. Well, we were so glad to have you, and we originally had you scheduled, I think, for 2 weeks ago, and Marie messaged me and said, "Oh, by the way, we're having Stanley on today from a couple weeks." Oh, okay. So I wasn't really as prepared, but I'm glad you were able to make it. We got to talk a little bit. And of course, we will be live at 8:00 with Wade Needham from Ring Scoops. So we're having double duty today. Do all the things like share and subscribe, and we will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night.